Hello, this is Bob Palmer, Dean of Academic Affairs at Sharon High School. This video will give you an overview of the course selection process for Sharon High School for the 2019-2020 school year. Each year that students begin the course selection process, it's important for them to keep in mind Sharon High School's graduation requirements. As you can see here, students are required to take 4 years of English, 3 years of social studies, including 1 world history and 1 U.S. history course, 4 years of mathematics, 3 years of science, 2 years of the same world language, 2 courses or a full year of unified arts, 2 courses in wellness, typically taken in grades 9 and 10, and additional elective courses for a total of 102 credits required for graduation. It should be noted that for the class of 2020, the Unified Arts requirement is only 2.5 credits or 1 semester course. Each year-long course earns 5 credits when passed, and each semester course is worth 2.5 credits. Students in grades 9 and 10 are required to take 5 academic major courses, that's English, math, science, social studies, and world language, as well as wellness, which is typically taken in the fall in grade 9 and in the spring in grade 10, and 1 semester elective in the opposite semester of the wellness. Students taking band, orchestra, and chorus are scheduled during Eagle Block, and that allows students to take those electives during the regularly scheduled day. It should be noted that students who have an academic lab as part of an IEP may have some slight modification to the courses that they take and how they take them. In grades 11 and 12, students typically are also taking 5 academic majors, though they may encounter places where they've already fulfilled the minimum for graduation, particularly in social studies and in science. Students then would fill their schedule with additional electives, which may include a second science, an additional math course, or any of the wealth of other elective courses that are available to them through the schedule. As with 9th and 10th graders, those in band, orchestra, and chorus take those courses during Eagle Block and are allowed to take other electives during the course of the day. It should be noted that regardless of grade, all students are required to carry a full load of 6 courses each semester, and that we do not honor requests for students to be placed in a study hall. During the week of February 26th, each grade had class meetings with counselors or with myself to discuss the course selection and scheduling timeline. In addition, student ambassadors, students from the high school, met with 8th graders in advisory on Wednesday, February 27th. By the end of this week, by March 1st, students will have discussed courses with each student and will have entered their specific recommendation for the next level of course into PowerSchool. It should be noted that for students in 8th grade, there will be no recommendations for the English or social studies courses, as all students will be taking the standard level course of that in those areas next year. We encourage those who are available to come to curriculum night on Thursday, February 28th at 6:30 p.m. To address their specific questions. Online course selection will begin on March 1st at the end of the school day, although course selection is not first come, first served, so students will have an entire 10 days to complete the course selection process online. In addition to the grade level meetings that occurred during the course of this week, counselors will be available for students who have questions during lunches in the week of March 4th at both buildings. While we are unable to meet with each student individually in this short period of time, we do expect that we'll be able to address all student questions during those lunches or via email over the course of the course selection window. Students should take that time from March 1st to March 10th to consider teacher recommendations, discuss their course selection with parents and guardians, and to return complete registration and return signature forms to the schools. Initial course selections must follow the teacher recommendations. That is, if a student is choosing to override, they must not do that in this initial step in this process. Counselors will be meeting with each individual student during the course of March 11th, that week, to confirm their requests and to discuss overrides at that time. As discussed earlier, students in grade 9 will have one elective course in their schedule during the course of the year. This slide demonstrates those courses that are available as electives to students in grade 9. It should be noted that those in maroon count towards the unified arts requirement, though those others that are listed here in gold are available to students in grade 9. They will not fulfill the unified arts graduation requirement. Many of our students choose to fulfill the unified arts requirements using their electives in grades 9 and 10, which allows them to take different electives in grade 11 and 12, but this is not required. Those students who take band, orchestra, and chorus may also fulfill the unified arts requirement by studying 2 years of band, orchestra, or chorus during Eagle Block. Each year there are adjustments to course requirements and course offerings at Sharon High School. For the coming year, it should be noted that creative writing and advanced creative writing can now be used towards the unified arts requirement. This is for the class of 2020 and beyond. Also, new courses in the science of well-being, film music, and the art of nonfiction film, social studies course based on documentaries. In addition, there are course name changes, significant impact in grades 11 and 12 math. American Sign Language 2 is now offered at both the standard and honors level, and the Intro to Theater course is now called Intro to Acting. When students are making their course selections, they should be well aware of the course levels, both those that are recommended and those that are available to them in their elective courses. For students in grade 11 and 12, they may have options to take advanced placement courses. And these are college level courses that are taught at Sharon High School by Sharon High teachers. There are honors level courses available to students in most grades, in most content areas. These should be, it should be noted that these are significantly more demanding than standard courses, and that they require extra effort both inside and outside of the classroom and a great deal of independence. Our standard and accelerated courses are both college preparatory courses, accelerated courses available only in math, and they're differentiated by PACE. Foundations level courses are college prep as well, but those are there for students who may need some assistance in increasing their independence, their critical thinking, and working on specific skills. There are multi-level courses available, typically in elective courses. Those may be taught both standard and honors in the same course, in the same classroom at the same time, with additional work and assignments for students opting to take the course for honors credit. And then there are certain elective courses that are unleveled. For those students in grades 10 and 11 who are considering taking AP courses next year or virtual high school courses, there will be opportunities for them to learn more about the scope and sequence of those courses, the expectations both over the summer and during the school year for next year. And you can see the schedule is listed here. It will be posted throughout the school building, and announcements will be made on a regular basis to remind students that these information sessions are indeed happening. It is in the best interest of each student who is considering an AP course to attend the available information session to learn more about the course before making a commitment to it. As always, we recommend that students follow their teacher recommendations for next courses. Recommendations are based on years of data that project success based on current performance in your current classes. Students are required in their first step of the recommendation and selection process to choose the course that was recommended by their current teacher. We'll talk about overrides in a minute. With parent permission, a student may choose to override a teacher recommendation, but that happens after the initial course selection. So students must select the course that was recommended by the teacher, and then if they choose to follow the override process, go over what that looks like. As I just said, students must select the recommended course in PowerSchool when they go in to make their course selections. When they have their conversation with their counselor during the week of March 11th, counselors will have override forms available for students. They will have a conversation about that and provide that form if a student is interested. Once the student receives the form, parent or guardian must initiate a conversation with the current teacher to discuss the override. Conversations must be completed via phone or email between March 18th and April 1st. Completed override forms then would be returned to school after the conversation, the teacher and the parent. And students must complete that form in addition to the conversation. Those forms will be due by Tuesday, April 2nd. If the override form is not returned or the teacher and parent communication is not completed, student will remain registered in the recommended course. Teachers will not have time to meet with parents regarding these override conversations. Conversations must happen either via phone or by email. These email and phone conversations are not intended for the parent to convince the teacher to change the recommendation. Teachers will not be changing recommendations at this time. The conversations are intended to ensure that families, students, and parents make fully informed decisions, that they are aware of teacher concerns about what challenges the student may face in an override course. Again, failure to complete both the override conversation, parent and teacher, and the override form by April 1st and April 2nd, respectively, will result in the student remaining in the course initially recommended by the teacher. It's also important for you to note that if a student overrides into a course and struggles, and thereby requests to drop the course during the course of the coming school year, student must remain in that course through the end of the first quarter and will have a grade of W, that's for withdrawal, on the transcript. Also should be noted that a low grade alone is not sufficient grounds for a course change, and that there are occasions when a request may be denied even in cases where a student is struggling in a course. The override process is in place to allow students to challenge themselves in an area of particular interest. We always focus on having students create balanced schedules. That means that students should not only consider the courses that they're taking, but also the amount of homework that they have and all of the other commitments that they have outside of the school day. Things like athletics, drama, clubs, career and interest, and volunteer work. They should also consider the level of interest they have in each particular subject and if their coursework is leading them towards particular future plans that they might have. We want students to keep an eye on their overall course load and their overall workload outside of school. And we, again, will not honor requests for study hall period. Again, we encourage students to seek challenges. We think that that's important, but we also want to make sure that we're being realistic in the process. To assist students in making well-informed decisions, we have provided them a time management calculator. The web address is here. It's also available on the Sharon High School website under Student and Parent Resources. We encourage students to use it to outline the amount of time that they're going to be spending on all of their various commitments, including their schoolwork. In addition, each course in the Sharon High School program of studies has on it an estimated weekly amount of homework that students can expect to spend. This will also help students to determine if they are budgeting their time appropriately, if they have time to engage in all of the commitments they are choosing to. When students feel like they are ready to make fully informed decisions about their courses for next year, they should log into PowerSchool. You may assist them in doing so by signing in on the parent portal, as you would to check the student's grades or any of the other information that you might get from there. Once the portal opens, parents and guardians will see a new tab on the left-hand side for class registration. We'll also see if they have multiple students in the schools, see both student names. They can click on one student and then on the class registration tab, and then in the center on choose courses for the coming school year. Once they've done so, they'll be entered into a welcome page with some instructions as to how to proceed. Students will go through discipline by discipline to select courses in each of the required areas. Students in special education should choose the academic lab at the top of the page, and then each student will choose an English course by clicking on the pencil icon on the right-hand side of the page. Each time that they click on that pencil icon, a list of courses will open up. It will include, in most cases, a recommendation from the current teacher, as seen here. It should be noted, again, that students in grade 9 will have one course listed under English and one under social studies, and that there will be no teacher recommendation for those two courses. That is perfectly appropriate. The student should choose the one available course, English 1 and World History 1, for those areas. In addition, reminder that students must, at this point in the process, select the course recommended by the teacher. English 2 in this case was recommended for the student in the visual. A student who is changing languages from 8th to 9th grade or at any other time may not have a recommendation for the level 1 of the new language, and that's fine. The student may, in that case, select the new language at this point in the process. There are also courses such as World Studies, American Studies, and Humanities, where the teacher may make a recommendation of the standard or honors English or social studies class, where students may choose the World Studies or the American Studies or Humanities course. Once courses are selected for all major subject areas, students may select their electives. Each student must select a priority elective. That would be their first choice elective, and alternate electives. It's important for students not to place their priority elective in their alternate elective selections. There is no benefit to it, and students are generally placed in their priority elective 3/4 of the time. Students may also choose their Eagle Block electives such as band, orchestra, chorus, help desk, or any other number of options in this place as well. Once the student has completed selection of all of their courses, they should print out a verification that is to be signed by both the student and the parent. This form should be returned to either the advisory teacher at the middle school or to the school counseling office at Sharon High School. In either case, that can be done as soon as the course selection process has been completed on the student's side. Again, no overrides will be reflected in this part of the process. The override process will take place the following week. So, During the course of this week, February 26th to March 1st, teachers will be entering their recommendations into PowerSchool. Counselors will be available to answer student questions during launches next week, the week of March 4th. Course selection will be available to students from March 1st through March 10th, and students will complete that process online during that window. Counselors will verify student course requests with each individual student from grades 8 to 11 during the week of March 11th. And then override conversations may begin the following week, March 18th, parents and guardians with teachers. Again, those conversations must be by phone or email and may not be in person, must be completed between March 18th and April 1st, at which time override forms will be due to be turned in to the main office at the middle school or the school counseling office at Sharon High School. As always, we're happy to assist you in any questions or concerns that you might have with the process, and willing to work with you throughout. Please feel free to get in touch with me or with the school counselor at either of the buildings to address any of your particular concerns. Thank you.